Lust isn't just a fleeting desire, it's a silent invader that lurks in the shadows, quietly whispering lies, slowly stripping away your clarity, your purpose, and your future. It doesn't ask for permission, it enters your mind, your heart, and your soul without a single warning, making promises of fulfillment that only lead to emptiness. But what if I told you that you have the power to banish it forever? What if you could rise up, take control, and command lust to leave your life and never return? This isn't just about resisting temptation. It's about mastering the deepest parts of yourself. It's about standing tall against an enemy that has stolen more from you than you realize, and reclaiming the power that is rightfully yours. The war for your soul is fought in the silence of your own mind, and you are the general in this battle. The choice is yours. Continue to be enslaved by fleeting desires, or command your life with authority and strength. The chains of lust are only as strong as your willingness to let them bind you. Ready to break free? Let's begin. The battle for your mind and soul is a war that rages silently, often unnoticed, but its consequences are profound. It's a war fought not with physical weapons, but with thoughts, desires, and beliefs. Lust is one of the most powerful forces that wages this internal war. It doesn't announce its arrival. It quietly creeps into your thoughts, dressed in the guise of natural desires, and before you know it, it starts to control you. Lust, like many other temptations, is not just a physical urge. It is a psychological and spiritual struggle. It's a war that begins the moment you entertain a thought or a feeling that stirs something deeper within you. You may think it's harmless, a fleeting moment of pleasure, a passing thought, a temporary escape. But in that instant, you've allowed the enemy to establish a foothold in your mind, and from there it begins to plant seeds of addiction, desire, and confusion. This battle is not just about saying no to physical temptation. It's about the war of your mind. The real fight begins when you choose to entertain thoughts that lead you down a dangerous path. Lust promises fulfillment, but what it delivers is emptiness and decay. It feeds on your insecurities, playing on your weaknesses and making you believe that satisfaction can be found in fleeting pleasures. In reality, it only creates a void, a hunger that can never truly be satisfied. Every moment of indulgence strengthens its grip, and with each cycle of indulgence and shame, the battle grows harder. Lust doesn't just attack your body, it corrupts your perception, your sense of self-worth, and your ability to form healthy, meaningful connections. It convinces you that you need it, that you're powerless without it, and that your true self is lost to desire. The longer this war goes unnoticed, the more it defines you, pulling you away from who you are meant to be. However, the greatest deception of lust is that it doesn't just make you feel weak, it makes you believe that you are weak. The war inside your mind is one of self-deception, where you convince yourself that this urge is beyond your control, that the desire is too powerful to resist. But this is where the fight truly begins, in the realization that you have the power to change. The battle isn't just against lust itself, it's against the belief that you are helpless, that you are enslaved to your desire. To win this war, you must first understand that the battlefield is your mind. What you allow yourself to think about, what you dwell on, and what you focus on shapes your reality. You have the ability to redirect your thoughts, to replace destructive impulses with empowering beliefs, and to regain control over your mind. This is where the power lies, not in denying desire but in commanding it. It's not about suppressing feelings or fighting against something that feels natural. It's about standing firm and saying, I will not be ruled by this. The real victory comes when you no longer see lust as an unstoppable force but as a challenge to overcome. The battle for your mind and soul is fought by rejecting the lies that lust tells you and replacing them with the truth about your strength, your purpose, and your worth. You are not weak. You are not a slave to your desires. You are in control. 2. The lie of lust. How it seduces and destroys. Lust is a lie, a deceitful illusion wrapped in the cloak of desire, promising satisfaction but delivering destruction. It seduces you with its alluring whispers, telling you that it's harmless, that it's natural, that it's a part of who you are. But the truth is, lust is not about desire or fulfillment. It's about control, manipulation, and a slow erosion of your soul. At first glance, lust appears innocent. It masquerades as something harmless, even pleasurable. After all, everyone has desires, right? So why shouldn't you indulge in them? The more you give in, the more it seems like a normal part of life, a natural urge that everyone experiences. But beneath that surface, there's a darkness waiting to consume you. Lust doesn't satisfy. It leaves you hungry for more, always chasing the next fix. The more you feed it, the more it grows, and the emptier you feel. The core of lust lies in its ability to deceive. It convinces you that instant gratification is the solution to your inner emptiness, that a fleeting moment of pleasure will erase your loneliness, your anxiety, your pain. But in reality, each indulgence only deepens the void, leaving you further detached from your true self. Lust promises connection but only isolates you. It tells you that your value is found in physical satisfaction, that it strips you of your dignity, your worth, and your ability to experience real love. Lust is a parasite that feeds off your insecurities and vulnerabilities. It thrives on the belief that you are incomplete, that your desires are more important than your integrity, your future, or your relationships. It plays on your weaknesses, feeding off your desperation for validation and approval. And with each moment of indulgence, it tightens its grip, leading you down a path of self-destruction. What lust doesn't tell you is the price it demands. It steals more than just your time or energy. It erodes your peace of mind, your focus, and your ability to think clearly. It takes away your ability to form meaningful connections with others, leaving you trapped in a cycle of superficial encounters that only leave you feeling emptier than before. It destroys your sense of self-control and weakens your willpower, making it harder to resist future temptation. And in the end, it leaves you isolated, craving a deeper connection, but unable to find it because you've been conditioned to settle for less. Lust's greatest deception is that it tricks you into believing it is your need for connection and intimacy being fulfilled. But lust is not love. Lust is not true intimacy. Lust is a counterfeit that offers short-term pleasure at the cost of long-term satisfaction. When you pursue it, you're not pursuing connection or fulfillment. You're pursuing an empty, hollow version of love that leaves you wanting more with each passing day. The danger of lust lies not in the desire itself, but in the lie it perpetuates, that satisfaction comes from external things, from instant gratification, from momentary pleasure. It tells you that you are your desires, that your worth is found in what you can get, not what you can give. It pulls you further away from the truth of who you are, a person with the power to control your mind, body, and spirit. Lust seeks to enslave you, but you have the power to break free. The first step to overcoming lust is recognizing it for what it truly is. It promises everything, but delivers only destruction. Recognizing the deceit is the first step in taking back control of your life and reclaiming your true power. 3. The power of choice. Reclaiming your sovereignty. The power of choice is one of the most profound gifts we possess. It is the key to unlocking your true potential and the foundation upon which you can reclaim your sovereignty. Every moment of every day you are presented with choices, some small, some monumental, but all of them shape the course of your life. The decisions you make, especially in the face of temptation, define who you are and who you will become. When it comes to overcoming lust, the first step is understanding that you are in control. Lust thrives when we feel powerless, when we believe we have no choice but to give in. But the reality is, you always have a choice. It may not always feel like it, especially when the pull of temptation is strong, but the ability to choose your response in every situation is what separates those who remain enslaved by their desires from those who break free. At its core, lust is a trap that hinges on one principle. It convinces you that you have no other option but to follow your desires. It tells you that this momentary pleasure is worth the cost, that you have to give in to the craving, that resisting is futile. But the truth is, resistance is not futile, it is empowering. Every time you resist the urge to indulge in lust, you affirm your sovereignty over your own mind and body. Each act of defiance is a declaration. I am not a slave to my impulses, I control them. This is where your true power lies, in your ability to choose. When you recognize that temptation is an invitation to grow stronger, you begin to take ownership of your decision. You stop viewing lust as an uncontrollable force and start seeing it as a challenge, one that can be conquered by the simple yet powerful act of choosing a different path. The choice may be difficult in the moment, but each time you choose integrity over indulgence, you build resilience, clarity, and peace. The choice to resist is not about denying yourself pleasure or pretending that desire doesn't exist. It's about choosing a higher form of fulfillment, a deep, lasting sense of satisfaction that comes from living according to your values. Lust promises temporary pleasure, but leaves you hollow, disconnected from your true self. Choosing a different path is choosing a life of purpose and meaning. It's choosing to build something deeper within yourself, something that will last far longer than any fleeting moment of desire. Reclaiming your sovereignty means taking responsibility for your actions, your desires, and your mindset. It's about saying, I am the master of my choices, and living in alignment with that belief. When you recognize that you always have a choice, even in the face of overwhelming temptation, you become unstoppable. You no longer succumb to the whims of your emotions or impulse. Instead, you choose to rise above them, knowing that your willpower, your values, and your purpose are far stronger than any fleeting desire. Your sovereignty is not just about saying no to lust. It's about saying yes to the life you were meant to live, a life of clarity, strength, and unshakable confidence. In this journey, every choice counts. Choose wisely, and with each choice, you will reclaim your power one decision at a time. 4. The price of indulgence. The destructive cost of lust. Lust often feels like a harmless indulgence, a brief escape from the stresses of life, promising satisfaction, even fleeting happiness. But what most fail to realize is that every moment of indulgence comes with a heavy price, one that extends far beyond the immediate consequences. The true cost of lust isn't just physical, it's emotional, psychological, and spiritual. First and foremost, lust robs you of your peace of mind. The moment you give into it, you're allowing a foreign force to dictate your thoughts, actions, and decisions. It clouds your judgment, distorts your priorities, and shifts your focus away from what truly matters. Instead of being present in your relationships, your work, or your personal growth, you're consumed by an insatiable craving, constantly chasing the next fleeting high. This distraction creates a void in your life, pulling you further away from your true self. Lust also erodes your self-respect and sense of control. With every indulgence, you make yourself weaker, reinforcing the idea that you are at the mercy of your impulses. The temporary pleasure you experience only deepens your sense of dissatisfaction and inadequacy once it fades. You may feel guilt, shame, or regret, realizing that you've traded your integrity for a momentary escape. Over time, these feelings compound, wearing down your confidence and self-worth. This is the dangerous cycle. The more you indulge, the weaker you become, and the more it takes to feel satisfied. But the cost doesn't stop there. Lust leads to a breakdown in your most important relationship. Whether it's a partner, family, or friends, indulgence in lust creates distance and distrust. The emotional and psychological toll of dishonesty, betrayal, or detachment can cause irreparable damage to the people who matter most. Even if the indulgence is in secrecy, the lingering effects are felt in every interaction, an underlying tension that corrodes trust and connection. Over time, the intimacy and closeness you once shared with others will diminish as you become more isolated, trapped by the very desires that once seemed harmless. The long-term effects of lust are perhaps the most destructive. It chips away at your future, slowly robbing you of your potential. With each indulgence, you delay your progress, detour from your goals, and lose sight of your true purpose. Your ambitions fade as you trade the pursuit of fulfillment for momentary pleasure. Lust holds you back from becoming the person you were meant to be, someone capable of achieving greatness, living with integrity, and experiencing real joy. By succumbing to it, you build habits that trap you in cycles of emptiness, constantly running in circles, never truly moving forward. In the end, lust doesn't just steal your time, it steals your life. The destructive cost isn't immediately visible, but it accumulates over time, robbing you of peace, relationships, self-respect, and potential. Lust lures you in with promises of freedom, but it only chains you tighter. If you want to live with true purpose, clarity, and power, you must be willing to pay the price of breaking free. The cost of indulgence is too high to ignore. It's time to reclaim control before it's too late. If you're ready to break free from the chains of lust and take control of your life, then you need to unlock the 7 biblical secrets to destroy lust. This ebook is your ultimate guide to understanding, confronting, and overcoming the temptation that's been holding you back. With powerful insights rooted in Scripture, you'll gain the tools to break the cycle for good and reclaim your peace, power, and purpose. Don't wait any longer. Take action now. Click the link in the video description or pinned comment to get your copy and start your transformation today. 5. Rebuilding from the inside. Strengthening your heart and mind. Rebuilding from the inside is the most crucial step in breaking free from the grip of lust. It's not just about resisting temptation, It's about transforming the core of who you are. True change begins within. Lust thrives on emotional emptiness, unresolved pain, and weak boundaries. To defeat it, you must fortify your heart and mind, creating a foundation of strength that resists its influence. Here's how to start rebuilding from the inside. Understanding the root cause. Lust often masks deeper emotional wounds, insecurities, and unmet needs. Instead of simply focusing on the symptoms, you need to address the root causes. Take time to reflect on why you turn to lust in moments of weakness. Is it loneliness, stress, past trauma, or a need for validation? Recognizing these triggers allows you to deal with the underlying issues rather than constantly battling the surface-level temptation. This deep introspection is the first step in regaining control. Cultivating self-awareness. Self-awareness is essential in rebuilding your inner strength. Pay attention to the moments when you're most vulnerable to lust. Are there specific triggers or emotional states that lead you to indulge? Recognize these patterns and take proactive steps to avoid them. Journaling, meditation, and deep reflection can help you stay connected to your true self and increase your awareness of what's happening within. The more self-aware you become, the less power lust will have over you. Strengthening your mindset. A strong mind is the foundation of any transformation. Lust feeds on a weak, undisciplined mind, so developing mental resilience is key. Begin by shifting your perspective. View temptation as an opportunity for growth, rather than a weakness. Instead of feeling defeated when lust arises, use it as a reminder to reconnect with your purpose and values. Practicing mindfulness can also help you regain control over your thoughts. By training your mind to stay focused on what truly matters, you gradually remove lust's hold over your decisions. Replacing negative thoughts with positive affirmations. Your thoughts shape your reality. When you're fighting lust, negative and self-deprecating thoughts often creep in. I'll never overcome this, or this is who I am. These beliefs reinforce the cycle of defeat and temptation. To break free, you must replace these destructive thoughts with positive affirmation. Speak truth into your life. Declare your freedom from lust and affirm your strength. I am strong. I am in control. I am free from temptation. Over time, these affirmations will reprogram your mind and strengthen your resolve. Building emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, EQ, is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage your emotions. Lust thrives in environments where emotions are ignored or suppressed. Building emotional intelligence helps you identify when emotions like anger, fear, or sadness are driving you towards temptation. With a heightened EQ, you'll be better equipped to handle negative emotions in healthy ways, reducing your reliance on lust as an emotional escape. Practice self-compassion, self-regulation, and empathy, all of which contribute to a strong emotional foundation. Creating healthy boundaries. Strong emotional boundaries are essential for protecting yourself from lusts. This involves learning to say no, setting limits, and walking away from situations or people that provoke temptation. Boundaries give you control over your environment and actions. They allow you to honor yourself and protect your energy. By setting healthy boundaries, you're showing yourself that you are worthy of respect and discipline. Over time, these boundaries will become second nature and help you keep lust at bay. Aligning with your higher purpose. Lust can only take root when there's a disconnect between your actions and your higher purpose. Rebuilding from the inside means reconnecting with your true calling, your reason for being. When you're deeply aligned with your purpose, lust becomes irrelevant. You become focused on living a life of integrity, growth, and contribution. Spend time reflecting on your goals, values, and spiritual beliefs. The clearer you are on who you are and what you want to achieve, the less room there is for lust to invade your life. Building healthy habits and routines. Your daily habits and routines either strengthen or weaken your resolve. Start by developing healthy habits that nourish your mind, body, and spirit. Exercise, eat well, sleep enough, and engage in activities that align with your values. Cultivating a structured, purposeful life makes it harder for lust to find a foothold. When your life is filled with purpose-driven actions and positive reinforcement, the temptation to indulge in lust becomes less appealing. Rebuilding from the inside is a continuous process that requires commitment, self-reflection, and action. It's not about perfection, but about progress. Small steps taken every day to strengthen your heart and mind. As you build resilience, emotional intelligence, and alignment with your higher purpose, you'll find that lust loses its power. You are not defined by your past struggles, but by the strength you cultivate within yourself. Reclaim your life one thought, one choice, one action at a time. 6. Breaking the chains. Freedom through accountability and support. Breaking free from the grip of lust is not a battle you should fight alone. Accountability and support are essential components in achieving lasting freedom. Lust is not just a temptation, it's an addiction, a deeply ingrained habit that can't be conquered in isolation. To truly break the chains, you must surround yourself with others who are committed to your success and understand the struggle. Accountability is the first crucial step. When you're accountable to someone else, the game changes. Instead of facing your battles in secret, you have someone who knows your struggle, who understands the weight of what you're dealing with, and who can help you stay on track. Accountability isn't about shame or guilt. It's about ensuring that you don't fall into temptation without anyone noticing. It's about creating a structure where you can be honest about your struggles, your victories, and your setbacks, without fear of judgment. This level of transparency allows you to confront your weaknesses head on and build the mental fortitude needed to overcome them. The key to accountability is trust. You need someone who will not only hold you responsible, but will also support you through every step of the journey. Whether it's a mentor, a close friend, or a support group, you need people who will help you see your value and remind you of your purpose when you're tempted to give in. It's easy to feel isolated when struggling with lust, thinking that no one else understands the depth of your battle. But accountability partners can offer empathy and encouragement, which fuels the belief that change is possible. Support goes hand in hand with accountability. It's not enough to just be held accountable, you also need emotional and spiritual support. This might come from a mentor who has walked the path before you, a friend who listens without judgment, or even a community that's committed to supporting each other. When you have others to lean on, the burden feels lighter. You're no longer alone in your fight. Knowing that there are others who care about your progress gives you the strength to keep pushing forward, especially when temptation feels overwhelming. Support provides emotional stability during times of weakness. When you're tempted, having someone to reach out to in real time can make all the difference. It can be a text, a phone call, or a meeting, whatever it takes to interrupt the cycle and remind you of your commitment to change. The power of having someone to turn to in those vulnerable moments cannot be overstated. It transforms the fight from one person against the world to a team working together to overcome a common enemy. Furthermore, accountability and support create a sense of community that fosters growth and healing. As you start breaking free from the chains of lust, you'll realize that the process of helping others in their journey adds even more strength to your own. There's power in shared experience. Knowing that others are on the same path allows you to be vulnerable, to share struggles without fear of judgment, and to celebrate progress together. This communal strength acts as a constant reminder that you are not defined by your struggles, but by your commitment to overcoming them. Breaking the chains of lust requires more than just personal willpower. It requires the courage to seek help, to be vulnerable, and to lean on others. With accountability and support, you can create an environment that not only helps you resist temptation, but also heals the emotional wounds that lust has left behind. Together you can forge a path of true freedom. Rewriting your identity is one of the most powerful and transformative steps in breaking free from the grip of lust. Lust doesn't just affect your actions, it distorts the very way you see yourself. It convinces you that you are nothing more than your desires, that your worth is tied to temporary pleasures, and that your identity is shaped by your struggles. But in reality, none of these lies are true. Your true identity is not defined by the temptation you face or the mistakes you've made. You are not a slave to your desires. You are a person of strength, dignity, and purpose. The first step in rewriting your identity is recognizing the lies that lust has fed you. Lust makes you believe that pleasure is your ultimate purpose, that satisfaction can only be found in indulgence. It teaches you to define your value based on how well you perform in the face of temptation, leading to feelings of shame and inadequacy when you inevitably fall short. Lust tells you that you're not good enough, that you're destined to struggle, and that the cycle will never end. These lies have kept you trapped in a loop of guilt, shame, and self-doubt. The truth, however, is that your identity is not tied to your impulses. You are not defined by your struggles or your mistakes. The real you is stronger than your desires, more powerful than the temptations that try to control you. Rewriting your identity starts with reclaiming your true worth, and that's rooted in understanding who you really are. You are a person with a purpose, capable of living with integrity, discipline, and strength. When you break free from the lies that lust has planted in your mind, you begin to see yourself through a new lens, one that reflects your true potential, not your past failure. To rewrite your identity, you must begin with changing your mindset. Lust convinces you that you are weak, that you can't control yourself, that you'll always be caught in this battle. but that's simply not true. Strength is not the absence of temptation, it's the power to choose differently in the face of it. Every time you resist, you grow stronger. The more you make choices aligned with your true values and purpose, the more your identity shifts from a person controlled by impulses to someone who is the master of their own mind and actions. A key part of this transformation is learning to stop identifying with your temptation. Lust might come knocking, but it doesn't define who you are. When you see yourself as someone who is constantly battling lust, you only reinforce the cycle. Instead, start identifying as someone who is free, someone who has control over their desires, and someone who is living with purpose and integrity. As you build this new identity, you will begin to break free from the lies that lust has told you. Another essential step in rewriting your identity is practicing self-compassion and forgiveness. It's easy to fall into the trap of self-condemnation, especially after succumbing to lust, but guilt and shame only keep you trapped in the cycle. Instead, embrace the understanding that mistakes do not define you. What matters is the decision to move forward, to learn from your mistakes, and to grow stronger. The more you practice this self-compassion, the more you will embody your new identity, one of resilience, strength, and unwavering purpose. Rewriting your identity is not an overnight process, but it's a journey worth taking. Every step you take toward freedom, every moment you choose integrity over indulgence, rewrites the story you've been telling yourself. You are not defined by your temptations, you are defined by your strength, your choices, and your commitment to becoming the person you were always meant to be. The lies that lust has whispered to you no longer have power. The truth of who you really are will set you free. The final command, lust, be gone. The time has come for you to take the final stand. Lust has controlled your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions for far too long. It has whispered lies, disguised itself as pleasure, and promised fulfillment, all while leaving you emptier than before. But now it's time to command it to leave your life, once and for all. The key to overcoming lust is understanding that it doesn't have dominion over you unless you allow it. Lust may be a powerful force, but you are more powerful. You have the ability to break free, to take back control of your mind, your body, and your soul. It's not about willpower alone. It's about mastering your thoughts, reclaiming your authority, and setting firm boundaries that protect your peace. Lust will try to return. It will try to sneak its way back into your life. But you must be resolute. The final command is simple. Lust, be gone. This isn't just a battle of desire. It's a battle of identity. You are not your cravings, and you are not your weaknesses. When you understand that lust is not a part of who you are, it loses its grip. The command is a declaration of who you truly are, someone worthy of peace, integrity, and freedom. Lust cannot hold sway over someone who recognizes their value, someone who knows they are created for a higher purpose. You've learned that lust feeds on your insecurities, your unmet needs, and your moments of weakness. But with every battle you win, you grow stronger. You are forging a new identity, one not defined by your struggles, but by your victory. Every time you say no to lust, you build the mental and emotional muscle to resist it in the future. The key is consistency, the willingness to stand firm, to say lust, be gone in every moment of temptation. But the final command isn't just about pushing lust out of your life. It's about filling that void with something greater. The space lust once occupied must be filled with purpose, passion, and love, not just for others, but for yourself. When you shift your focus from fleeting desires to long-lasting fulfillment, you no longer crave what you once did. Real joy is found in the mastery of your desires, the pursuit of higher goals, and the deep relationships that come with living in integrity. Your freedom is won through your actions. Lust may have been a part of your past, but it doesn't get to dictate your future. You command your life, and by claiming your authority, you set yourself on the path to lasting peace and personal power. From this moment forward, you live with purpose, clarity, and unwavering strength. Lust has no place here, so stand tall and say it loud. Lust, be gone. You are free. You are whole. You are unstoppable. You've just taken the first step toward reclaiming your life from the grips of lust. This journey isn't an easy one, but it's the most important battle you'll ever fight. Every time you say no to lust, you are saying yes to a life of clarity, purpose, and fulfillment. You are no longer a prisoner to fleeting desires. You are the master of your thoughts, your actions, and your destiny. The truth is, lust is a thief. It steals your peace, your relationships, and your potential, but it's also a lie. It convinces you that momentary pleasure can substitute for real, lasting fulfillment. The moment you break free from this lie, you step into a life where your desires are aligned with your higher purpose. A life where peace, strength, and joy are not just dreams, but but your reality. But this is only the beginning. Overcoming lust is a daily decision, a constant battle that requires more than just willpower. It requires deep, internal transformation. It requires new strategies, insights, and tools that empower you to stay strong, focused, and clear-headed. That's where my ebook 7 Biblical Secrets to Destroy Lust Before It Destroys You comes in. This guide offers powerful biblically rooted strategies to help you overcome the temptation of lust once and for all. It's not just about resisting, it's about building a solid foundation that will keep you on track, no matter what challenges arise. If you're ready to go deeper, if you're ready to transform your life with wisdom and strength, click the link in the description or the pinned comment. Download your copy of 7 Biblical Secrets to Destroy Lust Before It Destroys You, and take control of your destiny. Your freedom is within reach, and it's time to claim it.